All right, so I'm live on Facebook. I'm just going to go into Instagram and go live. Preview, connect streaming software to go live. Okay. So going live on Instagram. I'm just waiting. I wasn't able to do this before, so hopefully it works this time. So I should be live on Facebook and Instagram. Today we are talking about David and Colette Stephan. I'm going to have David Stephan here on this live in a moment, but I just want to get down to the information here and play you the video of David and Colette Stephan. The People versus David and Colette Stephan is a documentary coming to Calgary tomorrow at 7 p.m. at Candy Meadows Theaters. Buy your tickets in advance. I expect it to be like extremely busy. I'm going. Hopefully I will see you there. So I'm just going to share my screen and we're going to watch this video of the trailer for David and Colette Stephan before we bring him in momentarily. Share this live out. I'm going to go on and share it for myself as well, and tag any of your friends or family members who are on the fence about whether everything that has happened in the last 4 years was justifiable or not, that whether medical freedom is important and whether government corruption is real, because this is the defining moment for that, whether you will continue to believe the lie or whether you will figure it out. You need to see this documentary, you, all your friends, and all your family. So hold on, let's get this open system settings. Ooh, I have got to allow. Yep. I'm just got to give my computer some permissions here. All right, let's go. This one, share. So this is Give, Send, Go for David and Colette Stephan movie tour. I'm just going to double check on my phone that this is sharing correctly. And it is perfect. Okay. So here we go. Let's watch the trailer.
In 2016, I found myself pacing back and forth in this small little jail cell in solitary confinement, wondering, how the heck did I get here? When you start putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, you see a real interesting story that emerges, an unbelievable story, really.
911 emergency, require please fire ambulance.
Hi, yes, my son's not breathing.
The RN nurse saw the child a day before 911 is called. She saw no reason to say, take the child to a doctor or go to emergency or anything like this.
She did mention the word meningitis.
He ends up rapidly declining.
They live in a rural place. So they say, well, heck, we'll just drive to the hospital.
Not far into the ride, he stopped breathing again.
We're driving down the highway really fast, and we meet up with an ambulance, and we hand Ezekiel over.
They're charged with failing to provide the necessities of life. You didn't see a lot of those prosecutions. Now you do, and Alberta is the worst. You know, Children's Hospital in Calgary.
I get a phone call from the medical examiner's office saying that the autopsy's been performed and the report is complete, and that Ezekiel's death was vaccine preventable.
They treated him with home remedies, including mixtures of maple syrup and horseradish, instead of going to a doctor.
I mean, it was such a high-profile case. I don't even want to talk to people about it because the press has convinced them this child died of bacterial meningitis, and these parents were just so outrageous, you know, trying to treat bacterial meningitis with maple syrup. Like, that wasn't the evidence.
I was going to commit suicide because I felt I was a horrible person from reading what the media had said about me.
The pathologist that did the autopsy, he had received a letter from the Department of Justice, basically suggested Ezekiel died of bacterial meningitis. Now, that's highly inappropriate. And why would you do that?
They were trying to create case law that would allow them to criminalize people who didn't give their children vaccines.
An expert's supposed to be impartial. He was there to have them convicted, and I had that feeling about a lot of the doctors. This is tied for the dirtiest trial I've ever had to experience in my life.
The doctor wrote at the bottom in big bold letters, I am not involved, underline, underline. Not involved in what?
All right. Okay, so that is the trailer to David and Colette Stephan. I'm just waiting for David to enter here, but we'll go back and quickly take a look at his Give, Send, Go. This is for the Canadian tour across Canada, bringing the facts of that entire trial, of which they were eventually found not guilty for. I saw David speak in Calgary with Theo Fleury and Jamie Salé at the Canadians for Truth. Or no, sorry, it was with Brad Kerrigan at his event. And it's really, really heartbreaking what the Canadian government actually did in this situation and what the medical professionals actually did in this situation. So you'll get the whole story if you go to Canyon Meadows Theatre tomorrow at 7 p.m. and you actually watch the documentary, The People versus David and Colette Stephan. But let's go into their Give, Send, Go here and take a look at some of the information that we have. So, okay, so after no small amount of opposition, including issues in having venues accept this controversial movie, right, it's hard to get these movies into proper venues. On extremely short notice, we are announcing that the cross-country tour for the pre-launch of screenings of The People versus David and Colette Stephan is a go. We will be starting at Victoria, BC on June 1st and working our way through every major city all the way to Ottawa and then back to Lethbridge, Alberta for June 26th, where this 10-year saga all began. This film has proven itself to be the most comprehensive source of truth in relation to our story of how we lost our son Ezekiel to medical misadventure. How an incredible false narrative was developed by the medical system in an effort to absolve themselves of all responsibility while pushing an agenda that would serve to remove parental rights and medical choice in Canada. This film, this is perfect time. Oh, David Stephan is in here. Perfect. Let's add him to the stage. No further ado. I was just wasting time here while we brought him in. Here we go.
I don't think you were wasting time. You were buying time.
I was buying time. No. Yes, all good, all good. I hope it was easy to get on. Thank you for joining us. We hope to have all the success in your cross Canada tour, even though it was so last minute. And that's why I wanted to bring you on today, is to kind of spread awareness that this is happening and to hopefully have a lot of my Calgary friends come tomorrow at 7 p.m. And how has the tour been going so far?
Tour's been great. Obviously, you know, there's been major hiccups going into the tour. We weren't able to get a lot of the venues locked down beforehand. So the only thing that we went into the tour with was a lockdown schedule as to what city we're going to be at on what date. And that we're trying to fill in the blanks as we go along. So we're still scheduling venues right now. Like we just scheduled Regina. Right. Yesterday was finalized for Spruce Grove, which is supposed to happen Thursday, I think. Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So, we're like getting these things scheduled 3, 4, 5 days in advance. Some of them we've got scheduled, 3 weeks in advance, but that's kind of the odd one out. So we're kind of going as, just by the seat of our pants and trying to make this happen. So aside from that, though, Victoria had a good turnout and beautiful theater. Yesterday in Vancouver, we had major issues getting a venue and been working on that for a little while, and it just fell through. So we ended up in a Freedom House where they had a 75-inch TV, and there was probably about 25-ish, I'm going to guess, people there. So not a huge turnout, but everybody that's walking away from it is just absolutely, I don't know if dumbfounded is a word, but it's such a comprehensive video showing this corruption, and it it seems like something that you would only see in a Hollywood movie. Like you wouldn't possibly ever have that many corrupt elements coming together to make this happen and then have it exposed. And yet here we are today with this phenomenal story that's really unbelievable, except that the facts are there to make it
Oh,
believable.
right. Oh, come on now. It's a conspiracy.
And that's the thing, is that's why I think this film serves as such a phenomenal crossover film, as Todd, the producer who made Uninformed Consent, which many people have seen, as well as Love in the Time of COVID. He's saying that it's his number one crossover film at this point in time, in helping to create that bridge for people that have no idea about, well, not no idea, that they're willfully blind to the corruption that's taking place. This is bridging that gap. It's helping people that would otherwise think that people like you and I are conspiracy theorists and that we just need to dismiss everything they say. It's bridging that gap and helping them come over, because it's just so compelling, and there's such an incredible emotional element to it that it just resonates.
Right, absolutely. So, for those who are on my page or any of my anybody who shares this to some of their family and friends who might not know who you are, who might not have ever heard about the story, other than the fact that the media tried to say that you guys had a hand in the death of your son through holistically treating him with maple syrup, was the narrative that we just saw on the trailer. Can you give a brief synapse of what kind of happened to you so that they understand the full gravity of what this is actually about?
Yeah, well, so this is, the message that we were saying for so long is that this could be any one of us, right? And I said the same thing when I was reporting on the Jeremy and Jennifer Clark case, which was the second case of its kind to really come through, and it came through the same hospital, same players involved. And so this could be any of us. What happened was our son passed away from what appears to be an electrolyte imbalance. He didn't pass away from that. It was treatable, but it caused him to go into respiratory paralysis before we had any idea what was really going on. And previous to that, a few days before, he had been having some waxing and waning, looking like the flu was coming on, but nothing that would alarm a parent to take them in. And so he got better, and we thought we were in the clear, everything's fine. And then all of a sudden, he rapidly declined, needed an ambulance, ended up in an ambulance that Alberta Health Services had taken over a year before. And what they did is they proactively removed equipment from that ambulance. He went over 8.5 minutes with oxygen in the ambulance. And then they engaged in a massive cover-up story, because had they had the airway, they would have stabilized him. They would have corrected the electrolyte imbalance, and voila, he would have been up and running, a day or two later. Like, it would have been fine. But they had a motive, obviously, because the paramedics had been saying we need that equipment in the ambulances. So it wasn't that they were operating ignorantly, it's that they were actually operating negligently, to the point of criminal negligence. And in relation to my son, it was criminal negligence resulting in death. That's up to 25 years in jail. So they had a motive to really cover up what had taken place. And then other parties got involved, and they were able to profile us as parents, and this, it was just a perfect storm for them to be able to try to push an agenda. And so all of a sudden now we're dealing with a vaccine agenda. Now they're trying to hold us criminally liable for not vaccinating, which was the first case of its kind in Canada. That kind of case has never happened before. We were the first. They were attempting to set that precedent so that it would scare parents into vaccinating their children out of fear of not going to jail. And that's why it was pushed so vehemently by the media across the world, really. And it's interesting because the people that don't know about it are the freedom lovers who don't watch news. Because anybody who was watching news at that time, anybody who's walking into a gas station, for almost a whole month straight, they would have seen myself and my wife on the front page of the newspapers that were available there. Like, it
Yeah,
was
I remember
just
hearing
pushed.
about it. I'm not much of a news watcher, haven't been since like 2014 or 2013, even earlier, but I do remember hearing about it, even though I don't watch the news.
It was all over the place. So for those who never heard about the story, kudos to you. You've been keeping yourself from the news, and you should be, right? But anybody who was watching news knew who we were, and we were getting messages from like Sweden, Australia, New Zealand. It was in the local papers and stuff there. So they were definitely, the Western nations were trying to use this as a perfect showcase to try to push this type of agenda, criminal liability for not vaccinating. And so they added that to it. There was all sorts of strange falsifications, and there were so many players involved. And this documentary, this movie, really highlights a lot of that, and does so in such a compelling way that, for somebody who's a normie, or somebody who has never opened up to considering that these conspiracies are legit,
Come on,
they
that's
watch that. Yeah, they watch it and they just like, how could this happen in Canada? Mind blown. Yep.
It absolutely is. People think that there's still a lot of people with their head in the sand. Unfortunately, I run across them on the regular because I'm kind of a little bit of a pot stirrer online with my meme sharing. But come on, you guys, it's just an internet. It's just a meme. If you're getting upset about something, then maybe you should look into why you're getting upset about it, because they are pushing false narratives out there and literally brainwashing friends and family that we love and care about to look at us like we're terrorists, like we're terrible, and like we're doing all the wrong things, when really we've been researching day in and day out with like all of our extra energy and hours on what is actually going on in the government and in the medical industry, even in like our registration process, everything that's going on right now. We have been dedicated to figuring out the best route for our friends and our family and ourselves, of course. And so if you've just been sitting there watching CNN, watching CBC, watching the hockey games, and buying stuff online and shopping on Shein and doing all the things that they're kind of targeting you to spend your time and energy and effort in, and you're not going out and connecting with real human beings in person like yourself and Colette at these events like this, then you really should reconsider what your priorities are when you go to educate yourself about what is currently going on in the world today. So I implore everybody who hasn't spent that much time researching stuff in the last 4 or 5 years or beyond to watch this movie, watch this documentary, buy a ticket on the Give, Send, Go online. And I put the link in. Do I have this? Okay, yeah. Go on to the Give, Send, Go. Let me see. I've just got to do some tech stuff. Go on to the Give, Send, Go. And the link to buy tickets must be on here somewhere, right?
It is, yeah. So in the body of the text, you'll
Okay.
actually see where I say go to this link. And so
Go to this link. So here is
Yeah.
this link in the body of the text. And then here is our purchase tickets here. And then the teaser. And here's
the
our
tour dates.
schedule. Yep. So County Meadows, Tuesday, June 4th, 7 p.m., $20. This is for all of you guys on this live stream, catching the replay. I will see you here tomorrow. Edmonton, we've got Spruce Grove. And then Saskatoon, you've got the Life Outreach Church, June 6th. So these are all our dates. Windsor, Ontario, where are you still trying to find locations?
You just identified it. Anywhere that there's the white text is showing where we're going to be, but there's no venue listed.
Okay,
Those
people of
are
Windsor,
either in-
people of London, people of Hamilton, people of Barrie, people of Kingston, people of North Bay, Thunder Bay, and Lethbridge. If you know of a place that can host this very, very important documentary, then get in contact, send them a message on the Give, Send, Go, I think would be the most efficient. No?
They could probably send a message.
You know
on
what?
Give, Send, Go.
Donate on the Give, Send, Go, and then put it in the body of your text. That's what I'm going to tell you guys to do, because I donated as a single working mom. I'm like, you know what? This is important. People need to know about this. My daughter needs to know that I was there. standing up for her and her rights, because I didn't vaccinate her, and I don't want something like what happened to David and Colette to happen to me and my family. And this is my land in the sand. This is the hill that I will die on, and I have got your back every step of the way, David. So thank you for the courage of standing up after such a life-altering and crushing event, because that's what they truly, this is what they want and anticipate and expect of people like you, is they expect you to be crushed by the weight of their tyranny and to stop speaking out and to be forever broken and upset and not have the heart and not have the energy and not have the soul, but you have it. And where do you get that from? Where do you get that drive from?
You know, that's a bit of a deep question there, but you know, hallelujah. Really, I mean, that sums it up.
Right.
You know, praise the Most High. We were delivered. You know, there's a few. I'm getting a little bit better at articulating it because the question keeps on coming up at the end of the documentary there, the movie. So I'll just, I guess, sum it up real quick. You know, first of all, I always did have a real issue with injustice from my childhood. Just did, right? Like. And so that was one thing that helped drive me. But ultimately, at the end of the day, with how crushing it was and how they were engaging in psychological warfare, in the sense that they were scheduling things on Ezekiel's death date. You know, a lot of the court hearings were then, you know, at the hardest time of the year. And then on my birthday.
Psychological warfare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Spiritual warfare.
And yeah, and there was even one time that, you know, they scheduled on a Saturday, which courts typically don't operate on a Saturday, and it was Colette's birthday, and the Crown prosecution are laughing about it, right? And you know,
that's evil. That's evil.
oh yeah, they're laughing about it, and this is coming up, you know, right as we're about to receive the wrongful conviction, and that they had played extremely dirty in that trial, and yet they're laughing when they found out that it's Colette's birthday. So that's the type of stuff that we saw replete throughout the entire 9 years of court battles. And so, you know, our faith is what carried us through. Our understanding of nutrition helped carry us through, because we work within, you know, the field of mental health when it comes to natural health. And we've come to understand that when you have proper nutrition, you produce the hormones and neurotransmitters that are necessary to keep you in a positive mood, mood regulation taking place properly. And so, you know, we were supplementing like crazy, and it was serving us.
So
But
you're
then,
using everything that God gave us on this earth as supplementation to sustain you, to give you the energy, to give you the drive, and give you the ability to have your body supported in order to fight this fight.
well said. And then the faith aspect. So there's the spiritual and physical nourishment, but like you said, it's all from Him. It's all from the Most High. Bang on. Well said. You connected the dots.
All right. Well, I am so thrilled to hear that you are coming here. I will see you tomorrow. I hope that many other people will see you tomorrow in my stomping grounds, and then continued all over Canada as you continue. I can connect you with a few other people to maybe jump on and do live and spread the word, because this word needs to be spread, because they are not trying to allow it to be spread. So everybody get behind David Stephan. Invite your normie friends and family who we love and care for so much to this amazing event. And some tears are going to be shed. I already know, because even just doing this live, I'm like, don't cry. So
Okay.
you know what?
That's a warning. Yes. Make sure you have, you know, especially for women, you bring Kleenex. You absolutely need to have tissue on hand. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
You will cry. I mean, it is done in such a phenomenal way. My wife opened up really for the first time in a public way. And she spoke about stuff that I had no idea she was going to speak about. So I didn't touch it. So there isn't the two parts, me and her connecting on those elements and qualifying it. She goes out on not on a limb, but she goes into some deep stuff that she really experienced through all of this that I never anticipated that she would. And so I was shocked when I saw it. When I saw what she was talking about, but I think it's just phenomenal, beautiful that she let it all out of the bag, her innermost trials and hardships, and where that took her to some pretty dark places at some time. So
this is a healing for you and Colette as well. This is the ultimate lamenting for both of you to get everything out there and to release it, give it to God, and give it to God's people, as the body of Christ can rally behind you in these moments, and visit that Give, Send, Go, and come to one of the theaters all across Canada on this site. Boom, right there. The big 16. What? The B16?
It looks like a 6. It's The Big Picture.
Oh, the big.
So,
Yeah,
so that's bigpicturemovie.com. But just,
okay.
go through the link, because oftentimes our minds say, oh, the big picture. And so then we try to type that in, but it's bigpicturemovie.com. But
Perfect.
the link is found in the GoFundMe. You can find that on my social media page. You've got it linked there.
Yep.
Just, go through the GoFundMe and click on that link, and it'll take you to the specific page on that web page, or on the website, that will allow you to purchase tickets and also see the full schedule and the teaser.
Awesome. Okay. Well, you're traveling from, I think, Kelowna to Calgary today. So
tomorrow morning. So we're doing our
early
viewing
morning,
in
so-
about 2 hours here in Kelowna. So we're looking forward to that. We had a cancellation here, actually. As soon as the church really found out what it was about, they just said, we're not doing this. And they shut it down, even though we'd already been selling tickets and stuff. So fortunately, we had a plan B in place that we could quickly jump into. So we're at the Evangel Kelowna Church, and we're looking forward to meeting some lovely people that were willing to host this, that where others weren't.
All right. Well, have a great showing in Kelowna, and we will see you in Calgary tomorrow. And all the blessings for your amazing story getting out there, and hopefully it changes so many other lives out there. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Well, thank you for bringing this to the public, and blessings to you, Misty. Thank you.
Thank you, David. All right, you guys, that is it. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Candy Meadows Theater. All the love, all the peace, all the blessings. Bye-bye.